I used to think the more I traded, the more I was learning. That sounded smart at the time. Turns out I was just learning how to lose faster, which is a skill, technically, just not the one I needed. There's this thing traders do where they convince themselves that being busy means being productive, that watching the charts means they're working, that entering trades means they're participating in something important. I did that. A lot. I'd wake up, open the platform, and immediately start looking for trades. Not because I had a setup, not because anything made sense, just because the market was open and I was there and it felt weird to just sit. Sitting felt lazy. Doing nothing felt like I was wasting the day. So I'd find something, anything, a pattern that kind of looked right, a breakout that might continue, a retest that seemed close enough, and I'd take the trade. Not because it was good, because I was bored. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that again. If this sounds familiar already, subscribe. You're already here. I remember my mentor laughing when I told her I took 6 trades before lunch. Not a polite laugh. A full head back, oh, that's ridiculous laugh. Then she said, "You know what the best traders I know do most of the day?" I said, "No." She said, "Nothing." I sat there. She continued. They wait. They watch. They scroll Twitter. They go outside. They do anything except force trades that aren't there. I asked her how they make money if they're not trading. She said, by not losing it on garbage first. That annoyed me for weeks. Mostly because it was correct. That reminded me of Priya. Priya used to sit on voice calls with us during London Open, and she'd barely say anything. Just quiet, watching. We'd all be talking about entries, levels, momentum, whatever. She'd type one message. I'm out. Then 10 minutes later, took one. Then nothing for 2 hours. At first, I thought she wasn't serious about it, like she was half trading, half distracted. But she was green every week. Every week. Meanwhile, I was taking 7 trades and ending flat or red, wondering what I was missing. I wasn't missing information, I was missing patience. Which sounds simple until you're actually sitting there, staring at a screen, doing absolutely nothing while the market moves without you. That part is harder than it sounds. Most traders treat the market like an opportunity that's about to disappear. Like if they don't trade right now, today, this session, they'll miss it. Miss what, exactly? The market opens tomorrow, and the day after that, and every day after that. But we act like this is the last chance we'll ever get to be right about something. So we jump in. We take mediocre setups. We convince ourselves they're good enough. We tell ourselves we'll manage it. And then we're stuck in a trade we didn't really want, watching it go against us, wondering why we didn't just wait 5 more minutes. I told myself I'd be patient. I was not patient. There was this guy, Marcus, who used to trade every single M5 candle like it was a signal from the universe. He had indicators everywhere: RSI, MACD, moving averages, volume profile, something called sentiment zone that I'm pretty sure he made up. He'd enter a trade, exit 2 minutes later, re-enter, move his stop, close early, open again. It looked like he was working really hard. And he was. Just not on the right things. One day he showed me his account. Hundreds of trades. Flat for the month. He looked exhausted. I asked him why he kept doing it. He said, "I don't know what else to do." That hit different. Because I'd been there. Where trading feels like the thing you're supposed to be doing, so you do it. Even when you know it's not helping. Even when you know you should stop. You keep going because stopping feels like quitting. My mentor told me once, the market doesn't reward effort. It rewards timing. I said that sounded unfair. She said, "Yeah." And? No speech, no motivational follow-up, just, deal with it. Which again, annoying, and again, correct. The thing about trading less is that it doesn't feel like you're doing anything. That's the problem. We're trained to believe that results come from action. More results. But trading doesn't work like that. In trading, more action usually just means more chances to be wrong. And being wrong costs money. So the math is pretty straightforward. Fewer trades equals fewer chances to lose. Fewer losses equals more money left. More money left equals bigger position sizes on the good trades. Bigger positions on good trades equals actual growth. But nobody wants to hear that because it sounds boring. And it is boring. Sitting around waiting for one good trade while everyone else is posting screenshots and talking about how active the session was, that feels like you're missing out. Like you're not really trading. Like you're just watching. Yeah, that's the point. I remember Sarah. Sarah had this rule, 3 trades max per day. Didn't matter if she saw 10 setups. Didn't matter if the market was flying. 3 trades, that's it. If she took 3 and they were all losses, she was done. If she took 1 and it was a win, she'd wait for the next A+ setup. Most days she took 1. Some days, 0. She wasn't stressed. She wasn't chasing. She wasn't refreshing her account every 2 minutes wondering if she'd missed something. She just existed. And she made more in 3 months than most of us made all year. Not because she was smarter, not because she had better information, because she didn't waste energy on trades that didn't matter. If you've done this before, taken trades just to feel involved, leave a comment. I know you have. The thing nobody talks about is how uncomfortable it is to do nothing. Like, physically uncomfortable. You're sitting there, the charts are moving, you know how to trade, you have capital, you have time. Everything is available, and you're just not doing it. That feels wrong. It feels like you're hesitating, like you're scared, like you're not confident enough to pull the trigger. But sometimes the most confident thing you can do is wait. Not because you're unsure, because you actually know what you're looking for. And this isn't it. There was this trader, Ben, who would sit in the same Discord every morning. He'd watch, he'd type, nope, 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 maybe, nope. Then one day, took it. And he'd be up 3R by lunch, gone by 1 p.m. Meanwhile, the rest of us were still there at 4 p.m., 4 trades deep, break even, annoyed, trying to make the day work. Ben didn't try to make anything work. He just waited until something made sense. Then he took it. Then he left. Nothing says professional trader like staring at the screen, annoyed because nothing's happening and you refuse to force it anyway. That's the job. My mentor said something once that I wrote down and then ignored for 6 months. She said, "You'll make more money the day you stop treating the market like a job you have to show up for." I didn't get it. I thought showing up was the whole point. Consistency, discipline, being there. But she didn't mean stop showing up. She meant stop performing. Stop pretending every session needs a trade. Stop filling time just because the market's open. She said the best traders she knew had days where they opened the charts, looked for 2 minutes, and closed them. Not because they were lazy, because nothing was there. And they were fine with that. I was not fine with that. I wanted to be productive. I wanted to feel like I did something. So I'd take a trade, a bad trade, and then I'd spend the rest of the day managing damage I created myself. The plan was solid. My emotions heard the plan and laughed. Here's what I noticed after I started tracking it. My best months weren't the ones where I traded the most. They were the ones where I took 5 trades total, and 3 of them worked. Green. The months where I took 30 trades and 20 of them were fine, flat, or red. Because fine doesn't move an account. Fine just keeps you busy. And being busy in trading is expensive. Every trade costs something. Spread, commission, emotional energy, time, focus. If the trade isn't actually good, you're paying for nothing. You're literally spending money to feel involved. I did that for a year, maybe longer. I don't even know. At some point, I stopped counting and started ignoring it, which is its own skill. There was this woman, Claire, who traded part-time. She had a job, a real one, so she could only trade 2 hours a day. That's it. She'd log in during New York Open, watch for her one setup, and if it wasn't there, she'd close the platform and go back to work. No drama. No, let me just check one more pair. No, maybe this will turn into something. She just left. And she was consistently profitable. Not because she had more discipline, because she didn't have time to mess around. She couldn't afford to take bad trades, so she didn't. Meanwhile, traders with all day to sit there were still finding ways to lose. Because time isn't the advantage. Selectivity is. I said I'd wait for confirmation. I did not wait. I saw something that looked close. I convinced myself it was close enough. I entered. It immediately went against me. I sat there, watching my stop, thinking I knew better. And I did. I knew better before I clicked. I just did it anyway, because sitting there doing nothing felt worse than being wrong, which is insane, but that's how it works. My mentor told me, "You're not struggling with strategy, you're struggling with boredom." I started to argue. She cut me off. "You take bad trades because you're bored. You overtrade because sitting still feels like losing. You'd rather be wrong than wait." I didn't say anything. She continued, "The second you get comfortable doing nothing, you'll start making money." I asked how long that takes. She said, "Depends how stubborn you are." Turns out, very. The traders who make money long-term aren't the ones with the most trades. They're the ones with the best trades. And the best trades don't show up every day. Sometimes not even every week. So if you're trading every day, multiple times a day just to stay active, you're not trading setups. You're trading boredom. And boredom is expensive. I remember this one session. I sat there for 3 hours, watched everything, took nothing, closed the platform, felt like I wasted the morning. Next day, same thing, 2 hours, nothing. Third day, one setup appeared. I took it, 4R, done by 10 a.m. That one trade made more than the previous 2 weeks of staying busy. And it didn't feel like work. It felt like waiting, then acting, then being done. No stress, no revenge trading, no trying to make something happen. Just one trade. That's it. Here's the thing most traders can't accept. Trading less doesn't mean you care less. It means you're selective. It means you're not desperate. It means you trust that another setup will come, because it will. The market doesn't run out of opportunities. You just run out of capital if you keep trading the bad ones. There was this guy, Leo, who used to say, "I'm only here for the setups that make me sit up." If he had to convince himself it was good, it wasn't. If he had to squint at the chart and say, maybe, it wasn't. If it was actually there, he knew immediately. No second guessing, no, let me check one more time frame, just, yeah, that's it. And he'd take it. One trade. Sometimes two. Rarely more. He didn't care what anyone else was doing, didn't care if the group chat was active, didn't care if you missed a move. He cared about his trade, and that was enough. I don't know when it clicked for me. There wasn't a specific moment, just a slow shift. I stopped opening the platform out of habit. I stopped looking for trades just to feel productive. I started asking, is this actually good or am I just bored? Most of the time, I was just bored. So I closed the chart, did something else, came back later. Sometimes there was something, sometimes there wasn't, and I was fine either way. That felt new. My mentor said, the market will be here tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. You don't have to win today. I remember thinking that sounded too relaxed, like she didn't care enough. But she did care. She just didn't confuse caring with forcing. She trusted the process. She trusted that setups would come. She trusted herself to recognize them when they did. And she didn't need to do anything else. So yeah, trading less makes you more money. Not because you're doing less work, because you're doing less damage. You're not bleeding on bad trades. You're not managing positions you shouldn't have taken. You're not spending emotional energy on things that don't matter. You're just waiting. for the thing that actually makes sense. And when it shows up, you take it, and that's enough. If you've sat through an entire session, taken nothing, and felt like you failed, you didn't. You just didn't force it. And that's the skill. Subscribe if you're tired of pretending more trades is the answer. It's not. I still catch myself sometimes, looking at the chart, wanting to do something, feeling like I should be involved. And then I remember, I don't have to be. The market doesn't need me. It'll move whether I trade or not. So I wait until it's actually worth it. And some days, it's not. And I'm fine with that now. Took a while, but I'm fine with it.